Hi everybody, this is a video response to the Handy Manual, and he's working on his van and trying to make a workspace in there. I told him he could make a tabletop that's going to losing 3 inches of space out of his van. So this is kind of a rough idea of how to build the thing. You want to use some 2x4 as your base for a 3/4 inch plywood, because he loves 3/4 ply everywhere on that thing. And you're going to miter your corners, throw them in. Don't go all the way to the top of the edge on the top part, so that you have a space for the existing wall that's there to have a spacer and a clamp to slide the table up into. So that's half the battle. That's how you make the top part of it. And the bottom part of your table flip out, to make a slider, and this is probably a good idea for some plywood instead of 2x4, is you're going to just have multiple pieces of wood here, and they're going to slide out. And make sure you have a track on the top, track on the bottom, something to keep them in, so it's going to be a full wrap over here. Your back piece, or your outer piece, is going to need to be using some hinges to the board top, and basically it's going to attach, and it's going to be out past so that it gets around your hold down point attached to your bottom slider here. So it's got a little space. You're going to lose a little bit on the bottom. It's okay, you still get through the van. This thing is going to slide out with the top. These all slide, and by using multiple layers you make a drawer that gets way out of the van, or at least to the back of the van, where you have legs for the inside of the van are going to be set to where it actually sits on the van, rolls up. You'll use all thread or something to go through and make a hinge point. To get these to lock up, you either let them go over the past, or you could make a latch down, a little pop-up latch that would pop in from and catch it. Your bottom legs are also going to be 2x4. All these 2x4s are going to be flat to the board to take less space, give you some strength. Your bottom one will be a longer piece, and it needs to be adjustable, because you never know if you're going to be on level ground where you're working. So the easiest way to do that is your 2x4 bottom, make a slice up, make a slice across, make a slice back down. So you're going to split your 2x4 up. Okay, so you need to make a clamping system for your down rod when you push it down, and you could use some wing nuts on a screw or something to clamp this around it. You could either do a slot in here to do that, or a wrap, so it would be like a regular clamp that just goes around it. Just has to be able to sit there. So when at the bottom of your leg, you could just have a clamp that swings down, and then you swing it up to let the leg slide out of it. These legs are always going to go into your table length, and this is going to pivot up and down, so it pivots on the outer board that your slide out is. So like I said, at the back end of the truck, you have a short leg to fit right there to hold it up. On the far end, you use long legs that are adjustable height. That way you can level this thing out to the ground surface that you're on. This one, if you use, to get these things to stop as they slide, you would just cut a slot, put an extension piece on, so it's got something to ride in, and positive stop. And if you put them at different heights on your pieces, you'll be able to get them all on there, especially if you use some wide stock. You could even use that out of 3/4 ply. Probably 1/2 inch ply, 3/8 ply would be perfectly fine for it. The thinner the ply, the more room you have in your van. But that's basically how to set this thing up. That it's just a tabletop. It's going to go on a slider down the side of the van. You've got your lock at the top to slide the table into. The top of it, your frame doesn't extend all the way up here, so that you can actually get this thing to slide across it. And you put a 3-foot piece of this, and it'll slide up there, hold up, and it'll do all the fun stuff that you need it to do to have a work table in the van. You could also just make a tabletop have it come all the way out of the van, put 4 legs on it, and just slide it in using one of these methods on the top and bottom to hold the thing into the side of that part there.